So today it's about the law of assumption. Sure, we've all heard this law before, right? But I want to explain to you how the law of assumption works, what it is, and how you can apply it. And is it more powerful than law of attraction, all these other laws we tend to give? And the answer is quite interesting. It might show you something deep. So basically, this is Neville Goddard. So the law of assumption is basically assuming the feeling of your desire. So it's about a state of being, a state of mind. Now, always remember this now. Whenever you're going to manifest something, the manifestation means to take something in the imagination from what we call the invisible, the quantum, and bring it into what I call the Newtonian world or Newtonian physics, physical reality. So things always go from the immaterial to the material. The immaterial is the invisible world, invisible to the naked eye, but not invisible to instruments and invisible to other parts of consciousness. So whenever you're going to manifest something, you have to have three characteristics. There's three qualities each person must develop. These are the formulas for manifesting. Here they are. Number one, you have to have faith. Number two, you have to have a belief. And number three, you have to have patience. If you don't have three of those, it's going to be a difficult time bringing in the quantum world into the Newtonian world, because this applies to the law of assumption. I'm going to explain a little bit in detail. The thing is, let's break them down though, okay? Faith would be the faith and belief are powerful. They're all powerful in their own way, but let me show you how these work. You see, faith is nothing with religion now. You got to remember that. Faith is an inner expectation or an inner knowing of what you want must come, but you can't figure out how. That's faith. Faith is just, I know it will come and I know it must come. Interestingly enough, they're tying faith to what's called the placebo effect. That's how people heal and the body heals themselves, because when the body hears something, it believes it. The belief is the first part of it, but the faith is what activates the chemistry or the inner workings of all that. So you got to have faith, all right? The next component is you got to believe. You have to believe in your abilities, believe in yourself, believe what you want is possible. And then, of course, patience. Patience is the ability to remain present and not look far ahead to create resistance to the lower self or the ego mind. Now, the thing about the law of assumption, why is it so powerful, is because with the law of assumption, you bring all three at once, because you're assuming a feeling. When you have a feeling, it's a communication to the universe, or to you who is a part of the universe, that says, I have faith, I believe, and I'm patient. So the reason why, you got to remember, the reason why this works so well kind of goes in the law, what I call the law of the flow state. The reason why this works so perfect and so well is because when you assume a state or a feeling, right, you are now, the best way I want to put it to you so you can understand it. All right. When you assume a state of being, you are telling the universe that you are a creator. So think about it. It means that if I feel a certain way, what I want will manifest into my reality. The only way that can be means that I'm the source of that thing. So when you feel something, you are the source of it. Let me repeat that again, because this needs to be known. You are the creator. Because when you have a feeling is an indication of your consciousness to tell the field, the universe, what to create. That can only happen if you are the originator of it, if it comes through you. So that's what Neville means when he says, assume the feeling. So Neville believed that when we feel something, it is us, the creator. So everything comes through us, not to us. So are you seeing now how the law is working? Now, the law of assumption or the law of attraction, are they the same thing or is there a different thing? They're totally different. I want you to look at the law of attraction like a scientific universal law. It's a law that's set into place through mechanisms of cause effect, through gravity, just through the energy you put out, through electromagnetic forces. They're already bind. Once you do something, it's going to come back to you. Once you focus on something, it's going to come back to you. That's the law of attraction, all right? Law of assumption now is a inner working. It is now the creator, the source of you. Now the law of assumption is now you're using your imagination to create a feeling to get what you want. Now, the next thing about the law of assumption you need to know that people don't understand it. All right, so it's a state of feeling. So how do I develop the feeling of my desire, of what I want? So to develop the feeling of your desire of what you want, you have to go into your imagination. See? So you have to start to imagine. If you can't imagine, then you can write. But you have to imagine what it would look like now to have what you want. Then you have to make it as normal as possible. Repeat that. Imagine it, of what it would look like now, and make it normal, like this is supposed to happen. That's the only way this law is going to work 100%. This is the only way you're going to get it. And the beauty about the law of assumption is many of us, or all of us, have been doing it our whole lives, but you probably didn't know you were doing it. Think about how many times you just assumed. You do it every day. When you get up, you assume what the day is going to do. I got to do this today. I assume that's going to... And then usually things always work out to your assumption, right? You're like, man, I just assumed that thing and it happened. I didn't think too deep about it. The reason it happens is because when you assume a feeling, you are telling the field that it is done, it's created. When you're uncertain of a feeling or uncertain of what you want, you're telling the field you don't know what you want, therefore you're going to get inconspicuous results. See? So the field is responding to you. So go again, you are the creator, and the field has to respond to you. If you are the creator, the field can't respond to you. The field will go do its own thing. You would say, hey, I want to manifest that. The field said, no, I'm going to manifest that. It will happen all the time. It doesn't work like that. The field is listening to your feelings. All right. So is there a universal feeling that I can use, Mark? Yes, there's a very simple feeling that you can always use to make the law of assumption work for you. And it's so simple, so simple, so simple. I say it all the time in my videos, and I'll say it again. We don't have to make this rocket science. Think about when you get the stuff you want, the first is going to make you feel happy or feel good, whatever that means to you. That's a feeling you have to assume, because when you use your imagination and you think about your desires, they make you feel good. See, the feeling good carries a vibration out to the field or the universe. Then that vibration now will start to bring the circumstances, situations, parallel into your field or your Newtonian world. Do you see how it works? So now you should understand the difference between law of assumption, law of attraction. Let me do a quick review so you can really get it. The law of attraction is the background effect, the laws, the natural laws of the universe that works with electromagnetic forces to bring us what we desire. The law of assumption now deals with the consciousness, the inner awareness, the person imagination, the feeling, the understanding that things come through you. It's about detachment, letting go, expecting, faith, patience, and belief. Those things come in. Why does it happen that way? Because you are the source of everything. Remember, each person is projecting their own reality. Therefore, it's unique to you. So whatever you feel must conduce and create an environment, or what I call a Newtonian world, to match what you want. That's point blank how it works. So if you start to apply this and you practice this, you will start to get better. Now, there's things that people must work on. A lot of people may need to work on faith, they need to work on belief, they need to work on patience. So how can I work on these things? You have to start to repeat these. You have to start to surround yourself with using your imagination. The best way to get faith, to build your belief and to have patience, is to use your imagination, is to project yourself in that world doing, having what you want. The more you repeat that, the mind accepts that it's really us and it's possible. That's going to create the faith. It's going to create the belief. That's it. Now the patience comes down to the ego. Patience is something you have to develop and control with your conscious mind, because it's going to constantly battle you with time, with linear time. That's something you have to develop over and over again. And I'll do another video on that. I don't have time to talk about the ego and time, but I'll do another video to explain to you how you can use and be patient or be present. But that's all about the ego. But the first two, very simple. You can do that. Now you have it. Now you can put it to work.